When we talk about professional development and recruitment, the art of interviewing stands as a cornerstone. It's a process that adds much more than determining the suitability of a candidate for a role. It also reflects the values and integrity of the organization conducting these interviews. Let's start by defining the importance of conducting interviews professionally and ethically. Professional and ethical interviewing is not just about finding the right candidate. It's about creating a process, as we mentioned, a process that is fair, transparent, and respectful to all parties involved. This understanding ensures that candidates are evaluated based on their skills, experiences, and potential, rather than any biases or preconceived notions. It also helps in building the organization's reputation as an ethical and desirable employer, attracting top talent and fostering a culture of trust and respect. What about the ethical conduct in interviews? Ethical conduct in interviews involves more than just adhering to legal standards. It encompasses a range of practices, from ensuring confidentiality and privacy of the candidate information to providing equal opportunities to everyone, to all the applicants, regardless of their background. It also involves being honest and transparent about the role and expectations, and providing constructive feedback, regardless of the interview outcome. So, how professional and ethical interviewing benefits both the interviewers and the interviewees? That's what we call the mutual gain. When interviews are conducted professionally and ethically, it's a win win situation. Interviewers gain a more accurate and comprehensive understanding of each candidate's capabilities and potential fit within the organization. Meanwhile, the interviewees benefit from a fair and respectful process where they can present their qualification and experience in a supportive environment. This mutual respect can lead to a better hiring decisions and a positive impression of the organization, regardless of the interview outcome. So, what are the legal and ethical risks then associated with the interviewing process? And this part is very important because we tend to overlook it. In fact, ignoring professional and ethical standards in interviewing can lead to significant risks. These may include legal consequences due to discrimination or violation of privacy laws, as well as reputational damage if candidates feel they have been treated unfairly or disrespectfully. Understanding these risks is crucial for any interviewer, as it helps in creating a process that is compliant with legal requirements and, in the meantime, aligns with the best practices in human resource management. Add to this that among the benefits of professional and ethical interviewing is the fact that this setting empowers the interviewee. A professional and ethical interviewing process empowers the candidates. Yes, it gives them a platform to showcase their abilities in a fair and unbiased setting. And it provides them with valuable insights into the organization's culture and values. This empowerment can lead to a more engaged and motivated workplace later on, as employees feel valued and respected from the very first interaction with the organization. Reducing bias and stereotyping, or let's say reducing unconscious bias and stereotyping in the hiring process, is a big subject because it's not just about a matter of being fair. It's actually a strategic imperative for any organization seeking to foster innovation and creativity. The journey towards a more unbiased and inclusive hiring process begins well before the candidate walks into the interview room. It starts with the very preparation for the interviews, where the groundwork for a fair and equitable assessment is laid. The first step in this journey is the adoption of a structured interview process, and this involves using a consistent set of questions for all candidates, focusing on skills and experiences necessary for the job. By standardizing the questions, organizations can ensure that all the candidates are evaluated on the same criteria, significantly reducing the room for personal biases or stereotypes to influence the decision making process. However, the structure of the interview is just one piece of the puzzle. The composition of the interview panel itself plays a crucial role in mitigating bias. Assembling a diverse group of interviewers with varied backgrounds and perspectives can provide a more balanced assessment. This diversity in the panel is crucial. It helps to check individual biases as each member brings their unique viewpoint to the table, ensuring a more holistic evaluation of the candidate. Another critical aspect is the training of interviewers to recognize and understand their own biases. So, when we train new manager or hiring managers, eliminating unconscious bias during the hiring process is an integral component of such trainings. Often, biases operate subconsciously, influencing decisions without the interviewer being even aware of them. Through workshops and training sessions and on unconscious bias, interviewers can become more mindful and avoid any unconscious bias or any assumptions, helping them to remain objective and focused only on the candidate's qualifications and potential. The process of reducing bias also extends to the initial screening of candidates. For example, implementing a blind screening process where identifying information such as names, photos, educational institutions are removed from the resumes, this will help focusing solely on the skills and experiences relevant to the job. I know there are always challenges when it comes to time to do this, but this is just a strategy or an approach to eliminate any unconscious bias even during filtering the CVs or the resumes. It will also ensure that shortlisting of candidates is based on merits, devoid of any preconceived notions based on personal or demographic details. Furthermore, the criteria for evaluating candidates should be standardized and established well before the interviews. These criteria, rooted in the knowledge, skills, and abilities required for the job, provide a clear and objective framework for assessment. This is not only helpful when it comes to fair evaluation, but also it helps in maintaining consistency across different interviews. Even more, the journey towards reducing bias begins before the candidate applies, with the crafting of the job description. The language used in these descriptions can indirectly diverse candidates. Therefore, it's essential to use inclusive and neutral language that encourages a broad range of applicants, ensuring that the opportunity is equally appealing to all potential candidates, regardless of their background. That is to say, reducing bias and stereotyping in the hiring process requires a multifaceted approach, starting from the very preparation of the interviews. And by structuring the interview process, ensuring diversity in the interview panel, training the interviewers on bias awareness, implementing blind screening if possible, standardizing evaluation criteria, and using inclusive language in job descriptions, By all these methodologies, organizations can take significant steps towards creating a more fair, inclusive, and diverse workplace. This not only will enhance the fairness of the hiring process, but also will enrich the organization with a diverse range of talents and perspectives.